The soulless and corporate urge for a company to extract and save every penny for no particular reason has struck TKO once again. And this time, it's affecting the talent and the wrestlers that work for said company. I'm Jay Randolph, and before we get into this video, could you consider hitting the like and subscribe, as it'll help me get more consistent in making these videos. But however, onto the video. Wrestlemania weekend has passed us by, and there was good, there was some bad, there was a lot of bad. However, most interestingly, during the 4 days that they were in Las Vegas, and most notably the weekend, Wrestlemania weekend, talent and wrestlers got bombarded in their hotels, leaving and coming in by fans. And this is not something new. However, it's not been at the level ever than it has been currently right now. It's been reported there was little to no security provided by WWE or TKO, and most talent had to rely on hotel staffing to secure them, and that just resulted in little to no barrier between fans and customers and regular civilians with the talent, with the wrestlers, was led to too much easy access to said talent, which led to a lot of altercations. You know, we had Booker T coming out and saying that he was followed to the bathroom by a stranger. We had people recording the wrestlers. There was a very big incident between Bayley and AJ Lee and CM Punk, in which he rightfully slapped the phone out of a person's hand because he got too up close into their space. Now, I am admittedly not the biggest fan of CM Punk in or outside of the ring, but there really isn't any way that you can give him any shit for this. This is a clear-cut example of people crossing the lines and not treating wrestlers or celebrities in general as people at the end of the day. At the end of the day, these are human beings. You know, we could be fans of these people as much as we want, but they have on and off switches just like we do. They value privacy just as much as we do. And for people to come in and stick cameras in their faces and stick pictures or toys for them to sign when they're off the clock is a pretty dog shit way to treat someone that you say that you're a fan of. If you're really a fan of these people, treat them like how you would want them to treat you. We shouldn't have to be getting videos of Powerhouse Hobbs going off and chastising people who are stalking him around and in his hotel. We shouldn't have to be seeing a bunch of Twitter comments from Drew McIntyre going off about how people were berating his family. And we shouldn't have to see TMZ footage of the incident that I mentioned before with CM Punk yelling at a fan. And to go a little bit deeper into that incident, the fan in question, after sticking a phone and harassing two women, Bayley and AJ Lee, and getting the shit slapped out of him by CM Punk, justly and rightfully so, now is demanding an apology from CM Punk. And we all know CM Punk is just not going to do that. So where does it go from here? Is he gonna threaten litigation when he is the one who started the bullshit? He's the one that instigated and harassed people in the first place. CM Punk is no stranger to altercations, physical or verbal, and a lot of those that he's been involved in don't really paint him in the best light. However, this one, if he went 10 times harder on this guy, I don't think anybody would fault him. You know, I'm not really big into a lot of old school wrestler mentalities, but damn, it's moments like this that I really do miss the days of the big roided up 80s wrestlers who just don't take shit from people and would slap talk show hosts for saying that wrestling is fake. Those are the guys that we need in this situation right now. Not in wrestling in general, but in this very situation, yeah. Can you imagine fucking Road Warrior Hawk getting bombarded in the hotel room, or seeing his female co-workers being harassed by some random fucking dude, that man would have gotten legitimately power driven on his head, hard way. And we would all applauded. And this all just circles back to TKO, because this situation is not even the worst case scenario. Somebody could have really gotten hurt or worse, whether it have been the talent, fans. It just isn't smart to not have proper and accurate security at events of such a scale. To quote a word that I've been seeing thrown around here very often, the enshittification that TKO is doing to WWE doesn't just mean fucking up creative. It also means, taking out necessary resources in the back end. Things like security, things like travel, which never really was paid for by the WWE, but we can sure should bet now that the talent would not be compensated for travel or for booking their own hotels or anything of the sorts now that TKO is firmly in control. We saw like 2.5 hours worth of teaser trailers for Hulk Hogan's shitty ass documentary. We saw a slew of other commercials that didn't need to be on a Wrestlemania pay-per-view. We saw some fucking random dude sitting at the commentator's desk during the Rhea and Jade match for the Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Apparently this guy just paid thousands of dollars to sit next to Michael Cole. What? Is this where we're at? We can just pay to be involved in TV? When does it end? Can Mark Zuckerberg just come in and pay TKO a couple tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars maybe, and step into the ring and wrestle fucking Roman Reigns just for shits and giggles, just cause who can deny that much money? We fuck around and might get a goddamn Elon Musk X brand PLE. And before you say that's crazy, just remember that the Speed Championship was solely defended on X for a good amount of time. That had to be some sort of brand partnership with TKO and Elon. So we're not that far off the timeline. There has been a lot of uproar and frenzy over TKO's acquisition of WWE and what that necessarily means for the creative, more so than ever, mostly because of a supposedly leaked audio of a Q&A with Mark Shapiro, the president of TKO, during which he said that TKO has, for better or for worse, full control over creative. And that sentence alone has sent a lot of people into a spiral. Now, it's my take that when Shapiro says something like that, he doesn't actually mean that TKO were the ones that are booking every single story that we see on TV. I don't believe that he really had anything to do with, the Wyatt Six feuding with MFTs for a fucking million years, it seems. Triple H and his writing staff are most certainly the ones that are coming up with the day-to-day creative and the direction of the show as a whole. However, it's most certainly expected and probably accurate to say that if TKO wants something implemented or for a story to be pushed in a certain direction, that it will be their way over Levesque's, which does in a sense mean full creative control for TKO, which should also give a slight pause for many hardcore wrestling fans, because not only are TKO's new practices a detriment and harmful to the wrestlers themselves, but they are also harmful to the fans' pockets. With the exponential increase in ticket prices, the divvying up of all WWE content through multiple streaming platforms, and with several key figures in WWE and TKO basically admitting that they don't have any aspirations of slowing it down, it is us, the fans, who ultimately take the short end of the stick each and every time. TKO are actively and maybe even purposefully pricing out hardcore fans and families in a pivot to attract a more wealthy and casual audience. I said it in a previous video of mine. They are only focused on turning the WWE into a live-action billboard of sorts, using the company to attract every endorsement and sponsor they possibly can, bleeding and extorting every single audience member that they can get out of their entire life savings, and cutting every single expense that they feel they can get away with. During the build for WrestleMania, I told you that TKO is slowly killing the WWE. However, now, I feel his end might come quicker than we thought.